Hello, hello. I hope you are well. I am just getting ready here. I see a question up first. That always makes me happy. Fudge is asking, what are the lessons the world needs to learn from the Trump presidency? You know this is just an hour. This is just an hour live stream, right? Oh, happy Saturday, everybody. Let's see here. I've been very bad. I have not been putting my, moving my notes in here yet. I've got to sit down and do that for the week. Anyway, I hope you are all well. And as promised, I've got, we're gonna use the Cat Tarot today. At least one reading. See how it goes. Hello, everyone. And I wore the nails that match it. Here, actually, I can show you. Look at that. So, it takes so little to make me happy. It really does. Yay! Oh, look! It's the Two of Bowls. My cats never do that. Ever. 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 They get a longish, but they get a longish, but they're not. No, there's no cuddling. There's no sharing a food bowl. That's hysterical. Just the concept. Okie dokie. Okay, so Fudge asked, and there was a question right up front, so I'm going to answer it. What are we supposed to learn from the Führer's reign? From Trump's reign of bronzer. Okay. Oh, by the way, you missed nothing. We just started. By the way, I'm so excited. I am so excited. I got a shout out. From Cash. I was one of the nominations to be on one of the faces on his Mount Predictamore. And I was nominated, and he said I'm amazing, and it just makes my whole day. And he's so positive. He's always so joyous on camera. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be that happy, but especially with Saturn on my ascendant, I get happy, but even when the readings get really, really positive, I'm like, wait, let's double, is that right? Just making sure. But anyway, no, I'm very pleased, and it's, I might kind of know off the top of my head that the whole thing where he's talking about it, and I'm mentioned early on, it starts at 14 minutes of his Hillary Clinton video, 5 minutes anyway. I just happen to know that. Anyway, he showed one of my thumbnails, yes. It was something about Trump. I forget what, but yes, it was nice. Well, I've only shown my face once, and he doesn't know that, so. And there are a bunch of videos I need to make for business, and that's the thing about doing this. You get people who don't understand it, and who think it's a kind of Miss Cleo scam kind of thing, and it's not. I don't even do personal readings, and I'm not charging anybody anything. So I'm just, and this is what I do. well, part-time. I certainly couldn't do it full-time. But, oh, Sandra, I've been asked that a couple of times. Will Warren endorse Bernie? Democratic nominees. If every time I read on any of them, I get so much grief. And I'm vote blue no matter who. That's all. And go out and vote. That's it. That's all any of us need to know. Seriously. But if other people are willing to read on that, bless them. Oh, Mulvany, yes. Okay. But why Baby's asking, is America ready for a woman to be president, or did they just not want Elizabeth? Neat. Okay, actually, I think I need to write that down, kind of, is America for POTUS, or just Liz and or Hillary, but I'll ask specifically about Liz. And then there was Mark Meadows. Okay. Welcome to the Trumptanic, Meadows. Here, the deck chairs are right here. How long Mark Meadows last? And will Mulvany spill the tea? You know, tea, that healthy drink that the Orange Fura never touches. 1, 2, 3, I've got 4. I usually like to start with 5, so let me see what we've got out in here. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. Is Trump dumping Pence? Oh, sure, okay, let's ask that. Trump dump Pence. Okay, so I've got my 5 questions, so let's start with that. But we're actually, and specifically, we are going to start with, dun dun dun, let me dig out the button here. Look at this, it's taken me, it'll be 2 years in June, which is still a ways away, but this is what I've accumulated over time. And I got some good stuff at Christmas. So anyway, back here we have the little book. You can see that. And the cards. I usually use the books to divide the decks as they sit in here. Here I've got the zombie tarot here. Hope you can see this. And housewives here. Whoop. Halloween. So anyway, but let's look at the cat tarot. Oops, all right. So I'm just checking my microphone. Sorry if it sounds funny for a second there, just to make sure. I need to replace the clip. Anyway, irrelevant. Let's look at the cat tarot, and let's ask from the wisdom of the kiddies. What are we supposed to learn from Trump's... Actually, I don't know how well these are shuffled, so I'm going to do some weird mixing here, so just give me a second. This is sort of my shuffling to start with. But what are we supposed to learn from Trump's reign of bronzer? Oh, and terror. Terror, too. Besides just knowing that we can survive a lot more than we thought we could, at least those of us who are still alive. Oh, sounding a little cynical, I understand. I understand if you're like, gosh, that was cynical. Yeah. Yeah. Not proud of it, just... Okay. Just going to do a little extra mixing there. What are we... What are we supposed to learn? And sorry, these cards are so stiff. I just tried to shuffle them and it kind of went haywire and I dropped a couple. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Seriously, not a good look. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just... Gosh, isn't that a live stream? What is it? What is she doing? It's tarot. Oh, I don't see any tarot. That's because she's underneath the desk. Getting the cards off the floor. Classy. That's me. Anyway, I'll put this here. In case anyone is wondering, anyone wanders in and it's like, I wonder what deck that is. So anyway, and I believe there's a link in the description box if this is your sort of thing. Actually, I know a lot of you already have this deck. So anyway, we are at 12 and a half. All right, so about 12:30. What are we supposed to learn from Trump's reign of unmentionable stuff? This isn't a full Celtic. This is that's a 5 card with a card for the reading. Let's see what we've got here. Nails on a chalkboard. That's what it's been like. That's what I'm getting. I know it's the 9 of Swords, but it just feels like, you know, that's what. Yes, 4 years of nails on a chalkboard. All right, this is a new deck, so we're gonna take this slowly, at least at first. All right, 8 of, I'm guessing that's Pentacles. Fishies. Okay. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. We've all eaten more than we want to. We're all carrying more weight than we... Sandra's saying, I don't care about Trump. I want to know about the DNC. Oh, okay. I haven't seen Boo Boos and Kitty in ages. He's right there, but he just... They tend to sleep. Anyway, Hanged Man is here. Ace of Wands. And the Sun. Okay. All right, this feels like people who have us looking up to as a collective. You guys may not be really kind of, you're not really like this if you're watching this, but This is people who assume that because there are rich people, that those rich people are therefore smarter than everybody else, that they are more qualified for anything. It's kind of like looking at, also looking at people in Silicon Valley, the, business leaders there, and taking health advice from them. Why? Why would you take health advice from a bunch of tech guys? I mean, it's rich tech guys. Why would you take advice from them over somebody else? So this has been the, I realize this is a bowl of food and there's a bird, and there are a couple of different ways to look at this, food in the hand's better than a bird in the bush kind of thing, or it could be, it is the Nine of Pentacles. It's the sitting pretty, but it kind of feels like, for this reading, it's almost like this person is teaching this person somehow. It just kind of, just go with me here. just go with me here. This is people who have really supped at the table of the collective, who have made obscene amounts of money and then trying to tell other people what to do. And we've been falling prey to that for a long time. And we're seeing what can go wrong with that. Just how it can go egg-shaped, tail over tea kettle. There's the Ace of Wands. So it's kind of teaching us to, it's how do I put this? It's bringing to light the goodness of people on the same, all the goodness within each of us, all of the, and that we can do things ourselves. It's discrediting this old way of looking at things, so that we take action. So that was convoluted, but that's what I'm getting for that. What we're supposed to learn. We're supposed to learn to rely more on ourselves and people around us, and just because someone's rich doesn't mean they know what's going on. So that's what I'm getting for that. To be perfectly honest, I will come back to this tomorrow, because I'm having trouble with this cat tarot. And for a live reading, I've got stuff to cover, so I'll try again tomorrow with the cat tarot, okay? So, but right now I'm going to switch back to the steampunk, because that seems to go pretty quickly. But there it is again. I will be coming back. There will be kitties, because I love kitties. I love animals in general. I love people in general. It's only individuals who are jerks. All right, let me, that's haunted house. I don't want that. And where is it? Work with me here. The book, I don't have the booklet for the Steampunk Tarot. I can't prop it up because the booklet is an actual book. And it's way over, well, hang on, I'll get it. Because I know people are going to come through and they'll be like, what is that? That is that. Okay. Yep, I need to replace this. It's broken. Anyway. All right. Three cards. Let me see if this has any better answers. What are we supposed to learn from Trump's reign of orange bronzer, hairspray, and cruelty? Three cards. Ten of Pentacles. That is the card I get for the Trump Empire, the Trump dynasty. Seven of Wands. Nine of Cups. Nine of Swords. That we can keep going through grief and feeling defensive and feeling isolated. And okay, maybe there's some drinking involved, but it's actually more a card of business and a card of togetherness, of getting together, but also business. It's very much a doing business, but it's a local business, and being able to get through when you're trying to sleep and all the little horrible thoughts are going through your head. It's like, oh, look, there's Miller, there's Meadows, there's Gates, there's Jordan, there's Trump, there's Junior, there's on and on and on and on. So we're learning to rely on ourselves and rely on people on our own level. Thank you, Keisha. Okay, let's move on to, is America ready for a woman president, or they just didn't like Liz? A woman president. All right, I'm at like 22. Is America ready for? Is America ready for a female president? We already elected a woman president. I know. Be perfectly honest, I voted for her. I was with her. A woman president in the U.S. Oh, goodness. Surprise, surprise. It's kind of hard to grab hold of cards. They just seem kind of shifty underneath my hand. Yeah, that's not symbolic or anything. Woman president. I will never forget when they announced Barack Obama was president. The joy I felt, but just watching on the news all of those African American children who their whole view of the world opened up, their whole sense of self-worth opened up. And that was, brought tears to my eyes. It was them running around and laughing and cheering, and that was a great moment. But anyway, woman president. Well, that's the Six of Swords. A woman who's not in charge. That's what it's about. That's what the reading's about. That's pretty accurate. Okay, in the past, Five of Cups, it's the card of disappointment. Let me get this out of the way. It's the card of disappointment, and we have been disappointed. Center of the reading, Ace of Pentacles. That is bringing something into physical form, making something tangible, like woman president, woman in Oval Office, behind the Resolute desk, and not just as a photo op. That has good energy around it. Base of the reading, we have the King of Wands and the Tower. Basically, you'll notice this King of Wands, he's behind the throne. He's not, he's got his walking stick on the chair, but he's actually behind the throne. And he doesn't want to let go of that. He's still touching that's still his, that's still, and trying to, it would be such a shift. Because sexism is alive and well, unfortunately. I agree, G-Day. Obama's tenure seems like a lifetime ago. Yep. Above the reading, let's just see here. We have the Three of Wands. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck, just because I love the lanterns. And the Six of Pentacles, which is my favorite card in general, because it's a card of generosity. But this is a man being open-minded, and this is a woman who's making decisions. This is positive energy. I'll tell you, this energy is a lot, even though there's this undercurrent, this nasty undercurrent of misogyny, overall, this is a lot nicer to read on than anything Trump-related, trust me. Near future, oh look, it's Trump lying. The Emperor, Seven of Cups, card of illusion, delusion, possibly Adderall, or just base bullying, cruelty, lying 16,000 times. So in the near future, we're still stuck with him. Home environment. It's not impossible. It's a star card. It's not impossible anymore. Back when, forgive me, I've forgotten her name. In 1964, a woman ran for president. And she was literally being laughed at. So, but no, now there is actual hope. It feels like 21st century. Let's do this. Hopes and fears. Look at this, Nine of Pentacles. It's a woman sitting pretty. A woman in the position of, you know, having her strengths and her strengths and her agency, her own money, her own, you know, she is her own person. And she very well could be married or have children, but she's her own person. It's not like, oh, she's the wife of. It's like, no, she is. That's the hope. All right, what we see. I don't know if you've seen these before. This Four of Pentacles. These kinds of things actually do exist, where you put money in something and it puts it in like a savings bank. And this Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in general is the card of the miser, or is saving, or is holding on. But here it's kind of banking the thought, banking goodwill. Keep trying, and the energy builds up. Does that make any sense? To bring this into the physical in this big way. A little away, in, until it builds up, the goodwill, the thought, the acceptance, it builds up and it can come to fruition. Okay, final outcome. Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles, Hanged Man. I'll have to ask for a clarifier. Wheel of Fortune says it's just a matter of time. Eight of Pentacles is that that's just hard work, and there are a lot of good, capable women who would be excellent as president. And they're just going to keep fighting. They're just going to keep working on it. Working. And this Hanged Man, it feels like a delay, but let's tell me more about this Hanged Man. Is that referring to misogynists losing power? Is that referring to just a delay, a long delay until we get a female president? What is that? And why did I pull 4 cards? That's odd. Okay, whatever. What does Hanged Man mean? Queen of Cups. Likely to be a Democrat. Page of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. These are all people. 10 of Wands. It's a burden. This is a woman taking on the burden and having good advisors around her. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Will she be vice president first? Do we have to do that and then, or is it straight in? Actually, I'll put a card here for vice president and here for president. Does she come in? Let's see what we've got here. And in the middle, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And that feels like voters looking at their options. Vice President, 10 of Pentacles, straight in, Empress. This is... Is it both? Could it be there are 2, but there are women president and VP? No. But I'm not getting a, it's like vice president is brought on, she's brought on because of her family connections, her family's prominence kind of thing. And for the president, she comes on and she is very much her own person and very strong, and she really does stand for America. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't answer which is which. Like, who, the first woman vice president, the first woman president, which happens first? Or does it all happen, do they happen at the same time? But I'm getting, that really does feel like a split ticket in as far as genders go. That's a card of heartache, and that's a card of victory. Boy should get a lot of grief. I'm not getting, honestly, I'm just, did I see that Sienna's here? Are there other readers here? Because I'm not getting a clear, I'm getting a yes. And it's like, no, that isn't the question is an either or. It's not a, but I'm just getting a yes. I'll try just a couple more cards. Maybe that'll... Makes no sense to me. Oh! Or does she start out... No, because that would be getting a VP first if she started out as VP and then became president. Come on, work with me here. Are we going to have a female vice president first or a female president first? Or both at the same time? Female vice president. Female vice president. Female president. Both at the same time. Queen of Wands. Oh, that feels like women in the other party, I'll be honest, feels Republican, but women in the other party, a lot of women just being really like the worst critics because it's not traditional. And so of course everything, just like with Obama, oh no, we're not racist, but we're going to create the Tea Party and we're going to go vehemently, strongly as far to the right as possible, and we're going to mobilize like we've never mobilized before. Oh, it just happens to be that we have our first African American president. Yeah. Well, these look familiar. Vice president, president, or both. Nope, it would be with a man. Gender split ticket. Yes. Okay, they're not telling me. I'm so sorry, but I'm not getting... I'm not getting an answer. I'm sorry. I really don't. People ask me a question, I want to answer, but... The astrologer... Marjorie Orr, ORR. She's a blog I regularly read, and she did mention that Warren has particularly good astrology. She doesn't have good astrology for 2020, but she has some particularly nice things in her astrology for 2024. So just want to throw that out there. Okay, next. That ate up a lot of time for not much of an answer. 37. Oh, how long will Mark Meadows last? Like I said at the beginning, welcome to the Titanic, Mark. Welcome to the Trumptanic. Here are the deck chairs. They're right over there. Feel free to rearrange them. Oh, the band may even play. And how does the Trumptanic differ from the Titanic? Well, the Trumptanic has buses coming through on a regular basis. And get too close, chances are you'll get thrown under one. He has entered the Thunderdome, says Anne. Buses thrown over you. Yep. Oh, Mark, oh, his energy's lovely. This is someone you would not want to be trapped in an elevator with. It's just... I mean, I know he's not the nicest, but I've read on, I read on all these guys, DUI Gates and Jim Jordan and, but Meadows, his energy is so insufferable. Oh. Well, now he's going to be the Orange Fuhreur's chief of staff. Oh, there may be some canapes left in the first-class dining room. Might be a little waterlogged. Help yourself. He's insufferable. He's insufferable. This energy is just, it feels like it's just crushing my lungs from the top down. Just oppressive and insufferable. Blah. In the past, oh, this should be charming. 3 of Swords. He was elected. He wasn't chosen sooner. 8 of Cups. This card, this is an interesting card. I keep getting this with these guys, where something's missing. They have the calculations, they have the riches, but it's like they're missing something like, I don't know, empathy, morals, stuff like that. Kindness. Yeah. Base of the reading. Ten of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Ten of Wands is the card of burden. Knight of Pentacles, this particular Knight of Pentacles with that particular backpack, it kind of reminds me of all of those movies and video games where you have someone who has like a flamethrower. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're the scariest characters. It's like, no, you just shoot the backpack and it explodes. He's this human flamethrower. He's a political flamethrower. And he's taking on the burden. Lucky him. And he gets to be in close proximity to Trump every day. That's kind of a fate worse than death. Above the reading. Oh, it looks good now, but it never ends well. Yes, I'm the partner. I'll take care of it. I'll find the leakers and I'll... You mean Kellyanne, who's the biggest leaker in the White House? No, I'll get rid of the leakers and all. Oh, did that bus come rolling past? Yes, I've got the tire tracks on my back. Near future. A lot of hard work. Excuse me. Eight of Pentacles and the World card. It's a lot of work, and it's especially a lot of work because of the inconsistency, and that's what I'm feeling. It's very much, okay, we got this set up. Oh, he's changing it. Okay, we're doing that. This person's coming, and that. No, he's just changed it. Okay, then I mean, this guy. Come on, Trump goes through chiefs of staff like I go through what? Cups of cocoa. Yeah, it's a heavy, the whole thing. This burden card feels very strong. It's the burden of all of this. Home environment. Well, what goes around comes around. And what he's put out in the world has allowed him to become, come into that special White House orbit, place in history, and exactly what you put out there is going to come back to you. Hopes and fears. Well, duh. Yeah, a little bit of worry, a little bit of stress. I mean, the job's stressful on its own, even if you've got the nicest president in the universe. But it's just. And she's covering her ears. What it feels like is like covering your ears. Like I cannot listen to him anymore. I cannot listen to him repeat the same thing 15 times, completely ignore exactly what should be done, and just make stuff up hour after hour after. I can't hear. That's the fear. Probably a good fear to have. What we see, High Priestess. Yeah, what we're seeing, even like from this reading itself, this is the High Priest. She's doing a card reading and she has her crystal ball, and it's like us now. And it's like, oh, yeah, this'll be, yeah, good luck. Yeah, we can tell. We can read the tea leaves from here. People who aren't psychic can read the tea leaves from here. Oh, Deborah, I've read on Jim Jordan. I keep reading on him. I'll have to look in my book and figure out where that is, but it's horrible every time. Eek. Final outcome for Mark Meadows. Because it's definitely a hard job. Actually, I think he's going to survive better than most. It feels like he's a better fit for that job. He's more of a bully. and he's not trying to get the trains to run on time. He's he just, even if he doesn't talk to the public much, he's pushing Trump's agenda. He's sucking up to Trump. He figures out how to catch that lightning in a bottle of the right ways to suck up to Trump. So this actually feels like, I mean, because I don't get the sense that Trump's going to be in office, a whole lot forever. Let's put it that way. But this feels like Meadows. Let's see if there are any more cards, because this feels like Meadows lasting longer than most. Is that what that is? Is this Meadows lasting longer than most? There's the moon. Hanged man. Ace of Cups. Seven of Cups. Ace of Wands. This moon and the Hanged Man, it feels like this is in the past. These are his previous chief of staffs. You end up howling at the moon in frustration, and you can't get much done because he gets in the way. But this is a new beginning, emotional support. And those are Trump's lies. And he says, okay, I'm going to help you do that. He's not just a glorified secretary. He's really focused on the message. I'm going to work hard to whatever your lies are. Yeah, I don't know. How is it that people like Trump can find such loyal people? How can such rotten people find such loyal servants? I don't get that. I don't get it. So, but it feels like Meadows is a good fit. I'll have to look at Meadows and Trump's astrology, because it's actually feeling it's a good fit, but okay. How will Mulvany spill the tea? Where are we? 48. So, Mulvany. Happy to be gone. Happy to be out of that job. You're gonna write a tell-all that's an actual tell-all. Give interviews. Mick Mulvany, come on down. You are the next contestant on making money after Trump threw you under the bus. Mick Mulvany. Yeah, his energy's bad. Knight of Cups. He's feeling very appreciated. He's been pushed off to the side. He's feeling emotional. After everything I've done for him, after everything I did for him, wasn't appreciated. What? Oh, you mean the malignant narcissist didn't appreciate you working for him? In the past, people told him, you don't want this job. You don't want this job. But center of the reading, Four of Pentacles. He wants to cash in. Definitely wants to cash in. Base of the reading. These feel like the Trump rallies. Just all that energy that Trump feels at the rallies, all the Trump support. And it feels, this energy feels, I know what it is, but it feels good. And I wonder if this is actually him writing a book in support of Trump. So rather than spill the tea, if it's just going to be a rah Trump book, because his supporters might read it. Above the reading, yeah, he was part of the mechanism. He was chief of staff, and he knows stuff, and he's missing that moral side, that empathetic, you know, there are things I won't do side. It's big gaping hole there. Near future, Mick Mulvany. Well, he's going to be getting a whole lot of cold shoulder from other Republicans for a while. And near future, he is out in the cold. And it isn't just like low on money or something, but no, this is the death card, which is not literal. And then the Queen of Wands, which is, this card is becoming kind of the, I don't know, the kind of snooty, moneyed, usually moneyed, but sometimes just snooty people. And yeah, it's not, yeah, he's going to find himself in not the most welcoming situation. Okay. Home environment with the Knight of Swords. Well, he is trying to set up for his next job, find the best. I don't know if he has a job set up, but getting ready to battle, work, it feels like a very, well, it's very active. Knight of Swords always is, but it's a, you know, day to day, okay, I need to get my suit cleaned, and my suit's cleaned, and I need to wear this to that interview with that meeting, not even interviews, like this meeting with it's very practical. That's what it feels like. Hopes and fears. Oh, well, star, being the star, being the celebrity, being in the spotlight, looking good in the spotlight. That's his hope. That's interesting. What we see. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd, but you can sure try if you got a mind to do it. It was an impossible job. It's an impossible job. Here, there's some water, cross it. I can't walk on water. Oh no, even better. Here's a bicycle. A bicycle? Yeah, let's make it a Victorian bicycle. It's completely uneven. Oh, and here's an overskirt. What? It's an impossible job. Oh, and by the way, it's about to start raining. Impossible job. Final outcome, Mick Mulvany. Oh, look at that. Well, he's going to land in a good place somewhere. This is taking initiative. This is his home life. So that's feeling, even though in the near future, even the colors change. In the near future, it's just very kind of drab-ish. And then the final outcome, he ends up in a good place. He's working, he's taking the charge, initiative, starting new things, good at work, you know, remodel the house or whatever, but it's taking advantage. But then Page of Pentacles, he gets back into politics, or, you know, facing that cold again, because there'll be a time in the future where he's just, it feels like he's actually going to turn more toward Republicans than, I don't know, the rest of us. Mulvany, are you going to, are you going to turn toward Republicans? It's returning to his home, even though it's kind of biting him in the short term. 2 cards in the middle. On the laurels of his hard work for the, this is probably one of the closest things to a Fura card kind of thing, simply because this is a dirigible, and with all the swords, and it was so associated with Germany because of the Hindenburg, and but it was hard work, and his hard work is going to be the kind of centerpiece of how he goes forward. King of Cups, 9 of Wands. That King of Cups is the first time in this whole reading I've had any feeling of energy from Democrats. And the 9 of Wands. I need some clarity on this. I need some clarification on this, because that's completely different from the other things I've gotten here. Queen of Cups. It's like, yeah, the Queen of Cups. What is? Are you sure? I mean, is that Democrats? Oh, King of Cups isn't good enough for you. Queen of Cups. Okay, I get the message. I get the message. Strength. Ah, rise of democratic power. It's going to. He can't get back into politics itself. He can't get back into like an office, but he could join, in theory, he could join a those think tanks, or if there's anything else to be, any more information here to be had. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear. You try to speak reason to him, he doesn't want to hear it. And he's going to be disappointed. This feels like disappointment after Trump's out of office, and where his tenure, suddenly it's not worth anything. It can't get him the kind of jobs he wants. Yeah. So he doesn't end up in the best place, because I mean, it looks good for a while, but later on, his war stories from the past when he was younger, and his resume, and it's really not worth much. Really not worth much. So that's what I'm getting for Mick Mulvany. Okay. A couple more quick questions here. One is Trump going to dump Pence? And then a think tank. Just having a quick look at your questions. Actually, that might be worth throwing a few cards on, if anyone's interested. Will Franken get back into politics? If you guys would like. Okay, but right now, is Trump going to dump Pence off the 2020 ticket? We're at 60, almost even. And there goes my pen. Goodbye, pen. Goodbye, Pence. He's thinking about it. Bolton's book has been delayed until May. I believe. That's last I heard, Beryl. Okay. All right, I'll read on Franken next. Okay, is the possibility of chucking Pence out into the cold, the Iceman out into the cold. I don't like Pence. Don't like his energy at all. The Fool, King of Swords, Star, Chariot. All right, are you coming or are you gonna get kicked off? Two of Pentacles. It feels like he's gonna keep him. He's gonna make Pence do a lot of the dirty work. Make Pence do a lot of the work that Trump doesn't want to do. You know, like, yeah, you be in charge of the beer bug, the beer bug thing. I'm going to go to a rally. So, King of Swords, this feels like Pence only because I'm getting the same kind of, white ice quality here. And the Fool. But notice, that's Major Arcana, that's not. This is more important, this is a bigger force, even though it's not, he's an idiot, but yeah, so that's what stands. Becoming, the Star, staying in the White House, being the most important, blah, blah, blah. All right, we're campaigning. How about I'm campaigning, you're doing the dirty work? So I think he's going to keep Pence. That's what it feels like. We shall see. Oh, boy. Will he pick Nikki Haley? Okay, 60. Oh, I don't have a pen. Fold this up. What is it? Nikki Haley. And then Franken. And then I will be back tomorrow. Nikki Haley. There's a lot of Democratic power coming. I'm just kind of feeling out into the future, and it's a serious sea change politically. Nikki Haley. Well, she's been the little soldier. Knight of Pentacles. She has her own, for what it's worth, she has her own base of power, her own agency. Knight of Cups. She humanizes, in humanizing Trump and being one of the, well, seeming to be one of the only decent people in his administration, although that's debatable, but, compared to what? Seven of Swords, it's insult to injury. 10 of Pentacles. No, this is her feeling slighted. Like she was the good soldier, and she has a lot to offer, but it's almost like she's, instead of her, this can be, stealing those swords, but this actually feels like it's a take your swords and get out kind of thing. Whereas Trump goes back to his dynasty, his family, his. Yeah, that's Nikki Haley. So I'm not getting a whole lot there for her. And let me shuffle a little bit more, and then it's about 65. I'll ask about Franken. Okay. Okay. Al Franken. Is Al Franken going to get back into politics? I'll do a full overloaded Celtic, but I'll go through it pretty quickly. Is Al Franken going to get back into politics? Well, that's what we're asking about. Because he had star power before he even got into politics. And by the way, I'm not saying what he did was right. Please don't think that I am saying, oh, sure, it doesn't matter. Of course it matters. I'm just reading the cards. Just reading the cards. In the past, judgment. He definitely faced capital J judgment. Center of the reading. Yeah, well, it's the card of emotion, and it's also the card of Democrats. A new beginning, possible there. Below the reading, Ace of Swords and Queen of Swords. Well, this is what he did wrong. Weren't they on a military aircraft or something? I could be wrong. I'm not and heaven knows I'm not one of those readers who says I'm always correct. I don't even, I make mistakes like everybody. Above the reading, got, this is an overall general feeling of, this is America, and this is the Two of Wands, which is a, kind of a minor version of the World card in the sense of, having the whole world kind of thing. He does have some good, there are some good feelings out there about him. Near future. Oop, Chariot and Strength. Major Arcana. That's some powerful energy right there. Movement and strength. Near future. Oh, let's see. Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm not saying he would, but it almost feels like Al Franken is one of the few politicians that might actually watch something like this. I mean, not like willingly and would make fun of it, but it's, I don't know. I've got this kind of goofy, he does have his goofy side. His energy's better than I thought. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying politicians, but his energy's pretty good, actually. Home environment, he's definitely gotten snubbed. But they're still looking at him. He's still getting attention. He hasn't just disappeared. Hopes and fears, well, the fear is, it's the death card. It's the fear of, his political career, his public career is really completely over. What we see the Trump dynasty. We see everything Trump does and Junior does and all of them do, and the corruption and the cruelty and the, Franken did compared to the Trump dynasty. I mean, good grief. It's like he stole a toothpick in comparison. Again, not saying what he did was right. I'm saying he's not Trump. Final outcome. Well, might emerge. Might tentatively start emerging. He's the Hermit. So you've got the Chariot and Strength is in the near future. With final outcome is the Hermit. He has a lot of knowledge that can allow him to be sitting in a good place and getting some good people around him. As a matter of fact, it feels like a younger person in the sense of maybe getting more younger people involved around him as advisors, being able to appeal to younger voters. Oh, does he have a podcast? Oh, good. Good, good. I actually picked the deck up upside down. And it feels like very out in the open, very, very, not trying to hide things, not trying to deny things. That's good. Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Five of Cups. Well, this feels very strong and very positive. So what is this referring to? Because this all runs together, and that feels very different. What is this about? And that's voters. Another Seven of Swords. Insult and injury. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, he's got the knowledge. He's got the knowledge, the political chops to know what he's doing and to help somebody else. Two of Cups, King of Wands. I wonder if he starts helping somebody else. Does Franken start helping somebody else? Is that what's going on here? Two of Swords, decisions. Knight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Not necessarily. I'm all I know is that the Chariot, Strength card, Hermit, Nine of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands, those are very strong. Movement, strength. He has the knowledge. Sitting pretty. And this is a younger person around him. He could be mentoring, or they could be his assistant or something like that. This is very clear. All this other stuff, it starts getting muddled, which is weird because this is very clear. This is very muddled. Make of that what you will. I like getting clearer answers than that. But we've not seen the last of him, is definitely what I'm getting. And he's got a lot of knowledge to share. Okay. That is me for the day, I am afraid. But I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much to our Troll Slayers. I'm so grateful. This is not possible without you. So I will definitely, any questions, keep them for tomorrow, and I will happily read on them unless there's something pressing. Julie's saying Al Franken is likable, has common sense. We lost a voice with gravitas and credibility. Well, we haven't seen the last of him. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. Which is actually nice. It's actually a nice thing. Yeah. But so, thank you so much. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. All right. So, tomorrow I'll read on the judge and the Mueller report and Barr. Harry's Mom, I read on that yesterday. Did a big old reading on that yesterday. So, all right. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye.